Evening to you. Thanks for clicking on the VOGAN'S views on Europe for this evening. It's the 5th of January. And boy, what a weather pattern we've got here across Ireland, the UK and into Scandinavia. The latest we've seen was a 93-mile-per-hour wind gust recorded in the hills surrounding Sheffield during the early hours of this morning, and I believe there was overturned lorries locally, and it really is amazing, folks, the pattern that we're seeing at the moment. You know, I'm really starting to scratch my head as to whether I can remember both the intensity of these storms, the frequency of the storms, and the impact they're having. It really is quite remarkable. Now, of course, a couple of days ago, Scotland was stung by the strongest storm of the season so far. And let me just tell you, folks, since the 8th of December, I believe, if I'm right in saying, it's about 5 days where a large part of at least northern parts of the UK have endured severe gales and damaging wind gusts. Now, I do recall back to the 1990s, back in the days when I was in school, we had a tremendously windy period in one particular winter, and it seemed as if it was blowing gales for weeks on end. And so I'm trying to look back. We've all seen many great storms in the past, but really this pattern, just the sheer number of storms, the intensity of the storms, and the frequency is just quite astonishing. I don't really think there's many places anywhere in the world that is as stormy as what we are seeing here in this part of the world. It is remarkable. Even I seen an image the other day there of the Forth Road Bridge, and you can actually physically see the movement on the bridge. That's why they're shutting it down, folks. It's just the winds 102 mile an hour in a built-up area can cause an awful lot of devastation, and we have been seeing that, of course. Now, I'm looking at the upper level pattern of the European model, and it looks as if, folks, we're going to start to see a slight relaxation of this pattern. You know, as much as exciting, forget the cold and snow at the moment. Let's just chuck that aside for a second and actually just appreciate what is going on around us. You know, we've seen a weather system just 2 days ago, and it produced those devastating winds. In some parts, it was actually a devastating wind. You know, people's homes were wrecked. You know, roofs blown off, cars destroyed by trees. And you know, when you ask yourself the question, why was it so strong? We've seen areas of low pressure, the same track, but not as strong. And of course, as that system pushed across the UK, the same old story. It's pulling in that cold off Greenland. It's ingesting that warm subtropical air from the south. And of course, that system wraps in and ingests these conflicting air masses and deepens those areas of low pressure. Basically, as it goes across Ireland and the UK. But what was significant about the system 2 days ago that caused all the damage across the central belt was both the perfect track across a populated part, the most populated part of Scotland, as well as that it was deepening so rapidly. It looked like a hook of cloud on satellite. And what was happening was that the system was actually transferring exceptionally powerful winds from the upper levels down to the mid levels and then the low levels, and that is what caused the sheer devastation in some areas. It was basically a sting jet, it's called, and it's a transfer of that upper level energy down to the surface. These areas of low pressure deepening rapidly where you are can be more dangerous, in fact, than a very deep area of low pressure. But back to the point, next week it looks as if we're going to start to see a settling down of the weather pattern. Yes, it's mild. Yes, it doesn't look as if we're going to see any real cold or snow just yet. However, what I will point out to you is do not be led into believing that winter is not going to happen this year, because it looks as if we're seeing the first signs of true Arctic air drilling its way down over eastern parts of Asia, so through Mongolia, China, into the Koreas and into Japan. We're going to be seeing a severe Arctic outbreak, major snowstorms in the leading edge, then that frigid air comes in the backside. The United States, very warm. In fact, today we could be seeing all-time record highs in the plains for the month of January. But folks, there's signs in the model that severe Arctic air is going to then start to push and fill North America. We're going to see that cold over Asia connect up with North America. We're going to see a cross-polar flow. So it's going to be a transfer of all that cold crossing over the pole and into North America. Folks, there is lots of cold air there to play around with. And what we need here in the UK and Ireland is for that NAO. That is our key, folks, because the Arctic oscillation will go negative. It is going negative, and that's why we're seeing that cold air getting driven south. But if we can see that NAO, that North Atlantic oscillation, going negative, then we will see that cold and snow here and a lockdown pattern. Because once you get that cold down into the mid-latitudes and you get that warmth and that blocking areas, higher thickness values up into the Arctic, then the pattern gets locked in place. And boy, we've had a long period of a positive Arctic oscillation, and that doesn't bode well for later down the road for parts of the mid-latitudes. Folks, it's been a long video. I hope you've stuck by me tonight. I'm off to my bed now because I'm back up at 12 o'clock this evening. Hope you have a good evening. Bye for now.